The next person is Agbo. Hi, tell us where you're calling from and your question. And the next person after him is T. T, please make sure that your camera is on because it's off. And after him is Dr. Soul. And then David Emeka. And then after that, I have Emmanuel, Dr. David Adekoya, Engineer Israel Bami Boye, and Chibuzo.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Agbo. I'm calling from the UK. Good evening, Prince Adewale. My question has been touched on by the last caller in terms of grassroots politics, not just leadership politics. So we have people like me who are genuinely worried about Nigerians and the way we select our leaders. This is a genuine worry. So my question is basically, how do you reassure people like me not to give up on Nigeria? People who are watching the way we think, the way we follow a bandwagon, the way we don't even process issues. I mean, this is really, worrying. We're looking from from almost like we're watching a football match. I mean, Nigeria does need to sort the issue of diaspora voting, but that's a separate matter. For now, we're just looking as if we're watching a football match and shaking my head. What is wrong with us? I think Dr. Damages raised issues in his normal way, but he's touching on a genuine point that, the people who are speaking real facts, real hard truths, you're concerned that why aren't Nigerians listening? What is wrong with us? Why are we protecting our abusers? Why is it that the standard parties, the standard people who we know for years have been involved in the current darkness are the ones we're promoting? We all know that the elections has 18 candidates, but even some of our press men talk as if we've got just 3 or 4 candidates. And those 3 or 4 candidates are the same people who brought us to this darkness, this mess, this ugliness, this daily death across the country. What is going on with us? So in some circles, I think medical fields or psychologically, it's called a Stockholm syndrome. It's almost like a mental virus. What is wrong with us? Are we blind? Are we deaf? Didn't we learn anything from 2015 and 2019? I'm sorry that, if I come across as somebody who's really, really in pain or hurt, about our situation, but the people themselves, is it possible in the campaign season to reach people to stop approaching politics as if it's a church or as if it's their pastor? I don't understand what's wrong with us. Apart from MKO 1993, I can't really think of any general election that was based on issues free of ethnic and religious sentiments, just based on competence. MKO didn't have a job in politics prior to that. It was just poverty, addressing, the issue. So what is wrong with us? How can you reassure? Because really, many of us are on the brink, and we know that those who are on the brink, like me, are just one category. A lot of people have already crossed that barrier. And earlier callers have touched on this already. There are people who are based abroad. I'm sorry.
You're asking your own question already.
No, just one. Basically, the question is the same. How do you reassure us? How do we overcome Nigerian mindsets? It's a gutter standard, a poor standard. We're choosing why do we want to choose the best of 3 or 4 evils? What kind of mentality is that? What is wrong with us, Seth? Isn't it juju? What is going? Are we serious? Anyway, let me just. All right, I'm done.
I think you should let him say something.
I'm in pain. Like
I feel your pain. I know how it is because you live in the West. You know how easy it is for them to understand when the government is not performing. Months ago there were people hailing Boris Johnson, but immediately they saw evidence that it was not meeting the standard of the society. They immediately turned their back. Not that they don't like him, but they like the country more. They have a standard. So what we need to do is to understand that some of these things are contrived. There are people who are in the media or social commentary who are behaving as if they are independent. In reality, they are agents of certain people. So it's not as if it's representative of the whole country. I go around the country and I see that people are genuinely responding to their needs. They are hurt, they are betrayed, they feel betrayed, and they actually want to listen. I think the confusion that people have is that 2015 happened, and you wouldn't say that those people of northern Nigeria, those people of many parts of Nigeria who were shouting "Save Buhari" in the sun, running, people going hundreds of miles to go and witness a rally. The man will come for a rally at 7 p.m. or 5 p.m. People will have been climbing trees, climbing stadium walls from 9 a.m. So you cannot say Nigerians are not committed. The government of the day was giving money, doing something, but they were committed. But it was a heartbreak. It's a train wreck and a heartbreak. So it makes them to think that any other person who is coming, how do we know that this is not another devil trying to fool us? So that's the concern. So we need to people who are traumatized. You mentioned Stockholm syndrome. It happens to victims of abuse. So people who are traumatized sometimes don't know how to react. So rather than being depressed or angry with them, we should understand that it takes time for people to who have been overly disappointed, several times disappointed. It takes time for them to understand. If you look at many heroes in the Underground Railroad in America, freeing slaves from plantations, many times, most of their trouble was trying to convince the slave to agree to run away. Many of the slaves would not want to run away. They'll say, okay, how do I eat? Oh, let me catch me. My boss is nice. Oh, I will miss Jane, the daughter, things like that. So, so they understood that component and they started training um, rescuers on how to assure people. So I think people are in our politics today should know that not only the country physically damaged, as you have seen the damage on the roads, infrastructure, and all of that, that actually the psyche of the people has been damaged, and that these people flaunt money here and there. So they will show example of Motor Park Tout, who is now sending his children abroad, who is blinging and all of that. Our music, our popular culture is saying that if you know how to dance, you can take power, you can. So people have been taken away. So we have to have competition of ideas. We have to talk to our people. I'm not giving up. I'm going around the country. I'm going to visit every of the 8,800 something wards. I've been doing that. I'm somewhere in Ibadan now. I'm going around. I'm talking to people. It doesn't matter. What you need to do is that the message has to be clear. It's not about pandering. I'm not looking for any position just for aggrandizement. What I'm trying to do is to ensure that the message gets to the people. I have confidence in the Nigerian people that where the message comes and they believe the messenger, they will act. What is happening now is that there's moral equivalence. They don't know who's actually lying to them. They don't know who is actually saying the truth to them. But with time, with explanation, this will go out. And I think some of the observations you made affect the elite more because the elite somehow, however marginalized the elite are, the elites tend to have some crumbs out of the wastage, out of the criminality in Nigeria. The elite, whether they're academic elite, whether they're media elite, whether they're legal elite like me, they try to get they get something out of it. And when you try to attack somebody who has been a benefactor before, or somebody they believe they can benefit from, they will start to explain here and there. And they are the people dominating most of cable news. That the people who are analysts in newspaper or columnists in newspaper, that people are analysts on radio shows, on TV shows. So it gives they create a false momentum. But when you go below and go to the people, you see that they are hurting and they really want to be reached out to. I went for an event today that started at 5 p.m. and I discovered that people had been there since 6 a.m. on a Sunday. It was drizzling, the sunshine, and they were there, and I was close to tears. I said to myself, for God's sake, if people are still here So it's not about, don't be discouraged by a few trolls who are paid by candidates to come and write so all the way. So. All of that is just gimmick. At the end of the day, many of these people who tried this during the primaries, same thing during my primaries, people were writing all sort of thoughts. But if you go to the people, you explain to delegates one by one, the same way now, the voters are more, you explain for the voters, and they know that genuinely you are interested in solving their problem, people are going to respond. So let us keep the hope alive. Nigerian people are very good people, but they are facing hard times. And the political elite want to rewire their brain to make them what they are not, so that when they mismanage the country, they can go and blame the people and say, well, the people are not better themselves. They don't deserve better, because you have to give them money before they come and vote. So the people themselves, because that's what abusers do. They will victimize. A rapist will say, well, the person is, why is he exposing their body? A bully will say, well, why is the person talking to me anyhow? So the same thing, they will have abusive leadership who run abusive government, who do abusive politics. So they will want to incriminate the people with a little token, pay one newspaper editor to write rubbish, pay young people to tweet and collect 1,000 naira. Still, so they just give them something that made them to say, well, after all. So when I was coming to politics, they were counseling me. Oh, the Nigerians are hopeless. They will abuse you. Don't waste your time. Why are you campaigning? If you want something, we'll accommodate you. Even we have to give them money and buy the votes. Don't bother yourself. They are irredeemable. I don't believe so. I've talked to my people. I see them because I've seen Nigerians in all their colors. These are fantastic people. Just have the worst leadership on the planet. But I think we can come out of it.